Welcome to the stage of history. I am your illustrious host, Kevin Uncanny Anytime. What's going on, y'all? Rise and shine if you're watching this early. Otherwise, I hope you are making your day fantastic, right? It's all about our attitude and how we position ourselves. But I have a really good topic for you today, something that we've definitely talked about in the past, but it is always good to remind yourself of what's going on. The repeated reminders, when you repeat them, it will refine you. Repeated reminders, repeated refines us. All right. And so today the topic is words matter. Now let's talk about why. Let's talk about why they matter in the first place. Is because that's how we identify with things, or how we identify certain things, right? So everything has a name, everything has a title, everything has a label, and that's how we identify it. So with that, there's words that we use to interpret these things. And so if you have a laptop in front of you, you can identify what it is because of that particular description, that name of it. Right? If you have a phone in front of you, there's a couple different things that you can think of. For us that have seen the transition of cell phones and house phones, you may think, well, what kind of phone? House phone, cell phone? That's slowly trending out of here, but that's how you can have okay, wait, what exactly are we talking about? If you just say phone, this is where I'm going into why words matter so much, is because the description of what in particular you're talking about can make or break a situation. And we want to really make sure that in times such as that, we want to be as descriptive as possible. So when it comes to words that we're saying, what are we really saying, people? What are we really saying? Okay. Are you always saying, maybe little snides at people and then, oh, I'm just playing, but you're really not just playing? Or are you, saying, oh man, I'm so dumb. Are you saying that to yourself? The words matter, y'all. The words matter. Or are you generalizing a lot of things? I do that actually quite often. I generalize a lot. I'm trying to get more definitive and descriptive and decisive when I explain things instead of generalizing it. Sometimes people want preciseness when it comes to giving them instruction. And so that's an area of opportunity for myself, and maybe it is for you too, but that's something to think about. Words matter so much, which is why I like to say rise and shine so much, because what is a morning? Like how did that word come about? Who thought of it? When you say, oh, good morning, it's like, that's weird. But if you say I'm in mourning, then it's like, that's weird. Why is that weird? Why is that weird that both of them sound the same? What is that about? Who did that? Who set up this language this way to where it kind of confuses you in a way, and not directly, it's very indirectly how certain words are used, and you're like, wait a minute, why do both of those sound the same, even though I'm using them in different contexts? And you can think consciously, yes, I'm switching my mind to consciously know exactly what I'm talking about, but at the same time, what's happening below the surface? And that's where we get subatomic, and that's where I dive so far into thinking about particular things, because I really think it matters to be able to understand exactly where did this come from? Why are we doing things this way? Is it time for a change? We always have to try and think and improve upon what we're doing and how we're operating, right? So really, really, really think about that, guys. What words are you using? Because they matter. Because they matter. Are you telling are you telling yourself you're strong, you're powerful, you're capable, you're worthy, right? There was a particular instance actually that just happened to where my son, he always frequently says, I want these things, but he's not really asking anybody in particular. So I've mentioned to him multiple times before, if you want something, I need you to directly ask me, can you please get me some apple juice? Not just yelling out, oh, I want this. This can maybe be hindering our manifestations. This can maybe be hindering our goals. If we just are like, oh yeah, I want this, but we're not really asking for it. We're not really seeking to find out how do we obtain these things? How do we get this stuff? What question do we need to ask to really start going in the direction of obtaining whatever we're trying to obtain? Goal, tangible thing, whatever it may be, right? And so that made me think like, oh yeah, words matter very much so. Plus, there was another instance where there was a command instead of a request, and it allowed me to really think about what my position was in accordance to that individual. And so what I did was I just said, hey, wait a minute, you made a command. So are you requesting that I do this, or are you commanding that I do that? Because if you're commanding that I do something, I have the right to just totally not honor that command, because I'm not under any subjection in that particular time, because it was technically a request. It was, hey, can you go get me something? But the way it was positioned, the words that were used were, I want you to go do this. And it's like, oh, okay, that's fine and dandy. You can want that all day, but that doesn't mean I have to honor the request. And that's how you should also think in your life, and how you should start interpreting and understanding particular things. And it's not anything wrong that the individual that made the command, there isn't anything wrong with the particular situation. It's up to me how I respond to that. So I positioned it like, hey, think about the way this was positioned, because it creates a dynamic between the two people. So you really want to think about that. That will create a dynamic. If you are commanding someone to do something, that creates a dynamic between you and that other individual. And in that, you either are very submissive and subjective to that individual, or you are assertive and you are very confident in yourself, and you decide, well, hey, this is how this sounds, so I want to clarify. And that was what needed to happen. It was like, hey, this is the way this sounds, this is the words that were used, may not seem like it matters right on the surface of things, but subconsciously this is what this means. So let's clarify things. What are we actually looking for in this situation? And as we're able to clarify that, it's like, oh, okay, no, I actually just wanted to request, hey, can you please do this? And it's like, okay, perfect. So now that I know that, now I can conduct myself accordingly and either honor that request or not. But as far as commands that are just thrown out there, don't just go out and just honor commands, people. That is not what we want to do. We want to make sure that we are standing in our own strength, and you really stand in your own power and respond accordingly. So again, words matter, because that's how you're able to really, once you're able to really dive into yourself, you will start to be aware of these things, because a lot of times you won't be aware of that's going on, or you may just dismiss it, but it's more unawareness than anything. And when you start to become more aware of that, then it is your responsibility. See, it really had nothing to do with the other individual, because they're going through their own experience and they're learning and growing as they go. But it was for my new awareness of how do I represent myself? How am I going to respond to this particular energy that has been thrown out there? And it was a teachable moment of, hey, this is what this looks like. This is what this sounds like. This is how I'm interpreting it. Is that what this is? And then there's a clarification that happens, so that we're like, oh, okay, that makes sense. But really think about that. Really think about that. Words matter. And so how can you really identify with what you're saying? How can you really think about certain things that you're saying? Well, again, I have an awareness builder, right? That's really what this is. It's an awareness builder, and it's called concentrated strength. And what I would want you to do is take this assessment that is in the description, that allows you to see how focused and concentrated you are. Because what that does in the end game is it builds your awareness of things, right? You're able to tune into certain things. So that was so that command was so very easily, it could have just been easily thrown out there, and I could have just been, oh, I got so much stuff to do, because I was in the middle of leaving my workout. I had plans where I had to go home. I was thinking about the next things to do. That could come up, and I could just totally just, oh, okay, whatever, and just do it. But what's happening? What energy is going on in that particular time frame? Where am I positioning myself in that particular time frame? How do I view my own self in that particular time frame? And that's subatomic, because if you just respond to it, or if you just react to it and just, okay, blah 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 blah, I'm just gonna do this, then that underneath the surface says something about you and how you think of yourself. And you need to take an assessment and think about that. So again, this concentrated strength assessment is going to test your focus. It's going to test how much can I focus on one thing and really tune into it without being distracted. Right? That's building your awareness. So I want you to take that assessment. The link is in the description. Go down in the link under this video in the description and take the assessment, because it is going to show you a part of yourself. It's going to show you where you're at. And it may be easy for some of you. It may be like, oh, okay, this is something that I can do. But again, I just opened the program. Looks like we're going to have to close the open enrollment, because we're all filled up right now. But this is what I'm going to help you to understand in the program. And that's an underlying thing with this particular activity, is it's building your awareness. It is going to build your awareness, and you will start to notice more, like words, the words we use. And if it matters, if it really does matter, and it really does, because everything we look at is identifiable by a word. So words matter a lot, because that is how we are incredibly definitive people and descriptive with what things are happening and what things are around us, and how we're able to identify a lot of these things. So really think about that, because it's incredibly important. The title again, words matter. Absolutely, 100%. 100%. So really analyze, how are you saying things? What are you saying? How are you thinking in your head? Because that's still using words. You're still using words to even communicate with your own self. That's really important to think about. You use words all the time. And as soon as you look at something, you define it instantaneously. That's how incredibly powerful your brain is. Lightning speed, probably faster than lightning. It's literally right away as soon as you look at something. Do a practice right now and look around your room. And as you're looking around your room, notice how you know what everything is. Or if you're looking around your office, or if you're looking around your car, wherever you are right now, notice how you know what everything is as soon as you look at it. As soon as you look at it, you're able to correlate it with a word or a title. That is incredibly powerful, guys. That is incredibly powerful. Okay. It's really, really, really important too. So, I was wrestling with this, to be honest with you, for a little while. You know, I met a group of people and they were talking about words, and they were using certain words and even changing the way things were spelled, in their words. And I was like, what is that serious? So it made me meditate on it for a long time to really, really think like, okay, let's really think about this. And as I dove into it again, it's the subconscious thoughts that we're worried about, okay? Because that's the really deep rooted digging and deep programming that we have to do to build our awareness to better things. And so it's incredibly important to think about this and really, really meditate on it and take that assessment, y'all. Take the assessment down here. Be serious. If you're not in a program, right? If you didn't get the opportunity, open enrollment is gonna be next month. But really, really, really consider, even if you take this assessment every day, right? Save the link. Take this assessment and do it every day and practice concentrated strength. Mr. Miyagi, I'm telling you, the Mr. Miyagi, man, you're going to end up building your awareness to something. You're going to be like, wait a minute. Was that helped me to start noticing things? It truly inserts the glitch in the matrix, y'all. It's straight inception. It's straight inception. I'm giving you an idea. I'm giving you an idea of concentrated strength, because you're able to focus on one thing and not deter, not be distracted. There's so many distractions out here. But I'm giving you concentrated strength, which is one of your superpowers that just needs to be activated. It needs to be practiced. It needs to be cultivated so that it gets stronger. But yeah, man, major shout out to everyone who was able to get into the first class, the first enrollment of the Mindset Matters Institute program here, the Elements of Life course. It is going to be incredible, guys. We are going to dive deep into ourselves, and the community is going to really, really surround everybody, and we're going to really, really get uncomfortable with finding out, what are we doing here? Who are we? What do we want to do? And that's only gonna come by really tuning into yourself. Okay, so again, click the link down below. All right, take the assessment and work on that concentrated strength. Answer the questions, see how you feel about it. And I encourage you to do it every day. Do it every single day. Do it every single day and watch how it changes you. Watch how it changes you. It's going to be very subtle because it's not a part of the whole program where it takes you through so many different things of that nature, but it is going to show you something about yourself over time. And so take 5 minutes out your day and really, really see what you're capable of, and why things are the way they are, and the questions that it asks you. You'll be able to really identify with, okay, this is me. This is just me taking an assessment of me. It's just positioning it in a way that you can really talk to yourself and find out what's going on inside. Okay, but words matter, y'all. Remember that words matter. So really think about that as well. Think about what words you're using. How are you speaking to yourself? How are you speaking to others? Are you using commands? Are you asking requests? Are you requesting things? Really, really, really think about that, because it matters, especially as far as how people, will respond to you energetically. That's important. That's really important. So yeah, that was a lot. Love you guys very, very much. Okay. Again, I am so proud that we got the Institute all up and running now. And open enrollment will be open again next month. So look out for that. And the Mindset Matters clothing is coming very, very soon. Again, just finalizing the website. But yeah, other than that, make the day magical. That just came to my head, so I'm gonna say it. Make the day magical. Okay. All right. Mindset matters more than anything else. All right. Love you guys again. Have a fantastic day. Make it magical. And we'll see you again next time. Anytime. Out.